Everywhere in life, there's bullshit. It could be a job, your grades, your teachers, or this! In movies, TV shows, and especially comics, there are characters. Funny characters, annoying characters, and the best type of them all, overpowered characters. If you ask me, OP characters are one of the most important things in action movies and shows. They provide us, the fans, with the best plot, the coolest abilities, the best fights, and most importantly, the drippiest character designs. Name one OP character with bad drip. You can't. One thing that all OP characters have in common is that in theory, they are all unstoppable. There is no way you can beat them. And yet, they still somehow lose. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going over set characters that had to suffer this fate. My goal for this video is to determine which character truly lost in the most bullshit way. First up, I got Darth Maul. For everyone who doesn't know, Darth Maul is a Sith Lord who was trained by arguably the strongest Sith Lord ever, Palpatine, in the ways of the Sith. Everybody knows him as this mean, dangerous looking guy with a double-bladed lightsaber, and rightfully so, because he is dangerous. Everyone who watched Clone Wars knows why I put him in this list. This man literally conquered a whole kingdom on his own and made the previous king's soldiers bow before him. Not to mention, he unalived every species there is in Star Wars. Jedis, witches, clones, horses, everything. He was undoubtedly the MVP of Clone Wars villains, even his voice acting.
Kenobi.
The best one in Star Wars. Darth Maul in Clone Wars was the definition of a menace. At one point, he even seemed unstoppable. And then he got embarrassed by Palpatine. Anyways, in the Skywalker saga, he made his appearance in Star Wars The Phantom Menace, where he was the main antagonist. The main event of this movie was the fight between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Everything about this fight was perfect. The music, the characters, the fight scene, everything. That's what Star Wars should look like. Take notes, Disney. Overall, I think this fight was pretty good. The only problem I have with it is the way Qui-Gon, and especially Darth Maul, died. Qui-Gon is a Jedi Master and a good one too. To think that he would let himself get hit by the hilt on the forehead and then just stand there acting like it's your first time on Earth, it's just ridiculous. I mean, just look at him. Is this how a Jedi Master should react when getting hit?
No!
Come on, man. Even Qui-Gon's act and Liam Neeson admitted it. Qui-Gon really deserved a better ending that suits his character more. Nevertheless, his ridiculous death is nothing compared to Darth Maul's. If you look at this man's fighting skills in Clone Wars, in Rebels, shit, even in the movie, there's no way in hell you would expect to see him get sliced in half by a rookie. I get it, Obi-Wan is really powerful, but he was still a Padawan, an apprentice, an amateur. Meanwhile, Darth Maul was a fully developed Sith Lord. Obi-Wan winning this fight is like seeing rookie Steph Curry anchor-breaking Chris Paul. Possible, but just not now. And we all know what usually happens to Padawans when they get ahead of themselves and fight powerful opponents. Ask Grievous, he had one of them. Also bear in mind, Darth Maul held his ground and low-key made Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon look bad while fighting both at the same time. Imagine jumping a guy and still getting dominated. Master Yoda would have gotten a heart attack if he saw that embarrassment of the fight. So to see Darth Maul watching a rookie do a flip over him and then cutting him while also just standing there just like Qui-Gon, it's just honestly just bad writing. And I know Star Wars tried to fix it by making him survive and putting him in Clone Wars, but still, the old heads never saw him again.
Come on, man.
Dio. The best hater in anime history, hands down. Dio Brando, later known as Dio, is the primary antagonist of the manga and anime series JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He's a villain of immense ambition and little conscience who becomes a powerful vampire and a stand user. Dio is responsible for major events in the series and becomes a recurring nemesis to the Joseph family, with his legacy extending through all 6 parts of the original story. Yes, all 6. In the JoJo games, he achieves his dream of achieving heaven, and therefore creating the strongest stand of all time. The world over heaven. Star Platinum the Worldo, Golden Experience Requiem, Tusk Act 4, Wonder of You, all these seemingly unstoppable stands got soloed by Dio, in an embarrassing way too. This is the version Dio was supposed to achieve in an anime, but he never did. You ask yourself why? Well, it's easy. It's the same reason as all the other characters I just mentioned. Plot armor. While Maul is somewhat arguable, Dio isn't. 100%. I'm not exaggerating when I say Dio lost to plot armor. Jotaro Kujo was one of the protagonists in JoJo Part 3 and the one who beat Dio, whereas Dio was the main antagonist. I say main antagonist because there were a lot of villains the protagonists had to go through. The last one was Dio, and for a good reason. Unlike the rest of the villains, the protagonist didn't stand a chance. Kakyoin got off screen, Polnareff got bullied, and Joseph... Just look at him! The only hope the protagonist had was Jotaro, and even he originally didn't stand a chance. Watching that fight was like watching sheep pay the butcher a visit. They got murked! And I know Joseph previously thought he could get away and survive this fight like he survived in part 2 against Cars, but nah, there is no way out of this one. The reason why Dio was too strong for the Joestar group was his stand, the Worldo, a stand that could stop time and let the user roam free while time is stopped, which is pretty overpowered, so he should lose! It had one weakness though that Dio was planning to remove, which is that there is a limit, a 5-second time limit. So while Dio and Jotaro are fighting and Dio gets the upper hand and all the protagonists prepare themselves to die, something strange happens. Something really strange. From 1 second to the other, Jotaro spawns in the same powers as Dio and no one can stop time too. Like what? When I saw that the first time I couldn't believe my eyes. So you're telling me there's a character that could just spawn in new powers when he needs them? When he feels like it? Like, are we for real? As a Dio fan myself, I gotta say I felt disrespected seeing my favorite villain go out like that, losing to this bullshit. He's the best villain in the show. Show some respect. And why did they make him look so chopped? Throughout the whole show, he's by far the best looking character out there. And now that he is losing, he looks like this? I gotta admit, I don't think I can forgive Araki for that. And I couldn't believe that he did it to his own kind. I mean, look at that man. He's 65 years old. He's a vampire too. You know, out of all the characters I just mentioned, my boy Thanos probably had it the worst. In Infinity War, he beat every hero he came across except for Thor. He actually made Thanos look like a street-level thug. I even thought he would clutch us up and win, but that didn't happen. Nevertheless, Thanos achieves his dream, ending the fight between the Marvel heroes and his alien army with one of the coldest lines in fiction.
Should have gone for the head.
The whole time I was wondering where the hell Captain Marvel was, because you know, if Thor did this to Thanos, just imagine what she could have done. The movie would have ended in 10 minutes. Anyways, the movie Avengers Infinity War ended with Thanos' victory. 10 out of 10 movie. After Infinity War, Endgame came out, and let me tell you this. This is where the real bullshit began. The whole point of this movie was to undo Thanos' doings. And they did, by turning back in time. The average NPC would say, hey, that's brilliant. But let's keep it a buck. Think about it. If this shit really was possible from the start, was there ever a chance of Thanos actually winning? Bro, if I'm Thanos, I would just give up at this point. Maybe start a family or some shit, cause what the is there to do? You can't win anyway! You know how everyone says, I think the universe hates me? Well, for my boy Thanos, it actually is like that. Imagine killing millions of people in the present, and then they come back and jump your past self? Like, how is that even fair? Even Thanos couldn't believe it. Like, look at my man's face. He had to fight people he never met. Like, who's wrong though? Thanos is one of, if not the best villain in the MCU. And this is how Marvel chose to end him. Like, are we for real? Bro, Thanos literally won. If he was a hero, it would be the end of the movie. Roll the credits. But no, just because he's a villain, they give the heroes a second chance? What happened to Thanos really is a crime, literally beaten by plot. Well, for all of you who don't know, Gojo is a powerful sorcerer from the manga and anime Jujutsu Kaisen. He's a teacher of the main character of the show, Yuji, and is considered to be the strongest character. He possesses both the limitless curse technique and his 6 eyes, granting him the ability to see everything in extreme detail, therefore letting him use his limitless technique in perfect efficiency. The last person who had this power was born 400 years ago when he lost to Mahoraga, a character Gojo was bullying throughout the whole fight between him and Sukuna. Anyways, the reason why I put Gojo in this video is because he actually died against Sukuna, which is, and no one can convince me otherwise, the biggest robbery / plot armor in modern anime history. Simple! So you're telling me someone who has the ability to see everything and fry your brain away simply by looking at you loses to someone like Sukuna, who can just cut things up? And on top of that, he has peak physical abilities like superhuman strength and speed and so on and so forth. And I think the whole fight is just proving my point. I mean, look at Sukuna. That fraud got knocked off twice. There was nothing Sukuna was better at in this fight. Domain, Gojo. Black flashes, Gojo. Straight hands, Gojo. Sukuna pulled up to the fight, trash talking all the time, just to get a public asshole. Like, how embarrassing can you be? Is this supposed to be the king of curses? And I don't want to go too deep into the fight itself, because otherwise the video would be 4 hours long. But just know, Gojo embarrassed Sukuna. The fight was looking so good for Gojo that even the narrator himself stated at the end, Gojo won. And the next page, Gojo was lying there like this. Like, bro, do you get what the problem is? Gojo managed to do all that crazy shit during the fight, making Sukuna and the 2 most powerful Shikigamis in the verse look like children, and in the end, this is how he looks like? But this isn't the worst thing. The explanation the mangaka gave for this to be happening is one of the biggest plot armor, ass-pull explanations I ever heard. According to Gege, the mangaka, Gojo let his guard down and let himself get hit by the World Cut Slash. Like, bro, this just shows the hatred this man has for Gojo. And I knew it! Just because your wife would rather date Gojo than your ugly ass doesn't mean you gotta do him like this. The biggest argument I hear for Gojo deservingly losing is that Sukuna is actually stronger than him. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I hope all of you Sukuna fans realize that without Mahoraga, Sukuna wouldn't have known how to bypass infinity and this World Cut Slash would never exist. No Mahoraga, no party. Simple. These are pretty much the characters I want to talk about today. If you disagree with anything I said, let me know. Maybe I'm just dumb. And yeah, till next time.